Now at 6, news about roads. Some closing, some reopening. We'll tell you about the changes you can expect before making your holiday trek. Plus,
many people are going to be cooking for Thanksgiving, and a local fire department has some advice to ensure your meal doesn't end in disaster. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with those tips.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin drivers are just 1 week away from a major widening project starting on the city's west side. This is KOAM News at 6. KOAM's Chris Warner joins us live now with the latest on the project.
Well, this stretch of West 32nd from Schifferdecker to where we are here at Central City Road is about to undergo a major transformation over the next 2 years. Now, we kept you up to date on this project as it was from when it was announced, earlier this year. Now, starting December 1st, crews will begin clearing trees along 32nd Street in preparation of heavier work set to begin later in December. The plan is to take 32nd Street to 3 lanes with extra space to take it to 5 lanes as the area continues to grow in the future. And toward the end of next month, the first road closure is expected to take place. That's going to be from Schifferdecker to Westbury Lane.
With that type of construction, we're doing several phasing of short-term and long-term road closures. Know that will be some inconvenience. We'll always get the property owners in and out.
I apologize. I said the end of next month. I meant the end of this month is when that first road closure is anticipated. The utility relocation has already taken place along 32nd Street for the project, and it's being done in 2 phases, with each of those phases being broken up into smaller groups. And of course, they're going to do that in order to minimize the impact of the road closures on the local residents. Reporting live from 32nd and Central City, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Chris, thanks. Hey, the roundabout at Highway 171-96 and Route YY near Carl Junction, it's now open for traffic mostly. Jasper County Route YY is open only in the eastbound direction for now. According to MoDOT, they'll open it fully at a later date. Drivers could still encounter periodic lane closures as crews wrap up minor work and cleanup. In Joplin, Jung Boulevard between Central City and Black Cat Road is closed, and that's because of this. A great big sinkhole opened on the road. Drivers started noticing a dip in the road, and when crews came out to check it, they found a mine shaft had opened underneath. Crews do not expect the sinkhole to grow.
No, I think it's going to be just maybe a 4 by 4 foot mine shaft that we'll have to cap it off with cement, but it may be a day or 2 before we get it all finished, being it's Thanksgiving.
Crews today were working to determine positively just how deep that sinkhole actually goes. Doug, Hetty, it's been windy out there. Rain is coming.
Yeah, super windy all day long for us today. At times, we're getting winds gusting 40 upwards to 45 miles per hour. Now we have a cold front that is dipping in, and you can see some light showers developing ahead of the front. And these are going to continue to do so as we go through the next several hours, especially back through northeastern parts of Oklahoma. So far, these are very light, but we may get a few embedded little thunderstorms in here as we go through the evening hours. But majority of this is going to be along and south of Interstate 44. If you live north of I-44, just some light showers. These will continue to develop and then push through and push out by the time we head into the morning hours for us tomorrow. Now, ahead of this front, most of us are still sitting into the mid-60s, also very windy across the region. The winds are going to stay a little breezy even as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. Of course, we're going to look at these thunderstorms and Thanksgiving, all coming up here in just a bit.
Catch you then. Thanks, Doug. Cooking is a big part of Thanksgiving, but it can also lead to disaster if you're not careful. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with the Pittsburgh fire chief to see what the department dealt with last year and to get some tips for staying safe this Thanksgiving.
Pittsburgh Fire Chief Dennis Riley is no stranger to disaster, especially around Thanksgiving.
Historically, over the course of time, several years, we do see some incidents happen right around the Thanksgiving holiday.
With all of the possibilities for disaster on Thanksgiving, the Pittsburgh fire chief has some tips so your dinner doesn't go up in flames.
So as long as you follow the instructions, it's fine.
He says not to use this day to try anything new in the kitchen.
A couple things we recommend is, number one, stay within your skills. So if you have not made a big Thanksgiving meal before, don't let today be the day that you try to do that. So people can get overwhelmed. They get a lot of things on the stove, they get in a hurry, then all of a sudden they throw a dish towel down on a hot burner because they've got so much going on. They're just not used to doing that.
Another thing that can cause fires is a buildup of grease, so make sure to keep your stove and oven clean.
A lot of times grease and food byproducts over the course of time fall on the bottom of the stove. Then all of a sudden you put a big turkey in there and a whole bunch of other stuff, something spills out, hits the burner. That starts a fire. So we recommend make sure your stove is clean.
Most importantly, Riley says to call 911 as soon as you see a fire.
Homeowners try to take action on their own. They get into a situation where there's too much for them to handle, and then they call the fire department. And fire grows exponentially. So if there's any concern whatsoever at all, call the fire department first.
The Pittsburgh Fire Department will be working Thanksgiving and says not to hesitate should any emergencies arise. In Pittsburgh, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Now, at last report, the Pittsburgh and Joplin fire departments had not seen any holiday cooking-related fires this year. Up to 100 people could have their bellies filled on Thanksgiving thanks to a Jane, Missouri restaurant. Green's Bar and Grill is hosting a free meal for folks in need. They're serving up turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, egg salad, and much more.
It's just free for the whole community. We just want to give back to our community. So we're really thankful that the restaurants took off as well as it has, and we'd like to be able to give back to the community. We don't really know of anybody else that has done anything like this, so we wanted to be able to do it.
Again, Green says it can feed up to 100 people. Santa Claus has come to town. Old St. Nick himself, or at least one of his helpers, is set up at North Park Mall in Joplin. Of course, there were plenty of excited kids there today to let the big man know what they want to see under the tree. But at least a couple of kids we caught up with were also excited about the reason for the season and their family coming together.
I get to celebrate Jesus' birthday. Who was that? Probably seeing everybody in one room. Because we're usually at Christmas at our house. Everybody's in all these different rooms, and it's kind of weird.
Getting photobombed by Santa is kind of weird too. You can catch Santa every day up until Christmas. Hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Friday and Saturday, Santa's at the mall from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and noon to 6 on Sundays. Still ahead, refugees resettling in the St. Louis area are having a hard time finding homes. We're going to look at what's being done to get roofs over their heads. And later we'll catch up with the Lamar Tigers as they prepare for the state semifinals. We told you a couple of weeks ago about a plan to resettle Afghan refugees in the Joplin area. The group orchestrating the move, Refugee and Immigrant Services and Education, or RAISE, said the Joplin area is well suited for our new neighbors. The group says that's due to a welcoming community and available, affordable housing. Well, that isn't the case everywhere. In the last 2 weeks, 212 new Afghan immigrants have arrived in St. Louis as part of a federal resettlement program. In all of 2020, the program saw only 145 new immigrants from a variety of countries. As Russell Kinsall shows us, refugees are struggling to find a place to live.
Happy to starting good new life in the United States of America.
Saeed Safullah is a recent Afghan immigrant who is being helped by the House of Goods charity, which is with the Islamic Foundation of Greater St. Louis.
We have been helping provide hot meals, clothing, hygiene products, toys for the children.
For Afghan immigrants who have permanent housing, they can come here to get things to furnish their homes, as well as clothes and food. But out of the 212 who've arrived in the last 2 weeks, Most are not in permanent housing.
There's about 160 inside of hotel rooms.
Some are staying at the Marriott Hotel in downtown St. Louis, others at the Hyatt Hotel, also downtown, and others are at the Extended Stay America Hotel in Maryland Heights. They had spent 4 days at the hotel at Hollywood Casino, but that created an uncomfortable situation.
With them coming from Afghanistan, and it's a Muslim country, they've never witnessed gambling or alcohol or those sort of things.
For 6 days, the charity has delivered hot meals to families in hotels like Safula's.
We are families, around 6% to coming here from Afghanistan. And in Afghanistan is, I think, for most of the people is a bad place. For the moving from Afghanistan to here, we are happy.
Safula and his family arrived in the U.S. in September. They've been moved from New Jersey to Chicago before arriving in their new permanent home of St. Louis.
Most of Afghan happy. We are easy getting the chance to enter in the United States.
It was Russell Kinsall reporting. You can learn more about the resettlement of Afghan refugees in our area on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Later, the Lamar Tigers will look to earn another trip to the state championship this weekend, and tonight we're going to hear how the team is preparing.
Plus some showers, even a few thunderstorms starting to pop up over the next few hours. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it actually turned out to be another fairly mild day for us today, right back up into the mid-60s during the afternoon. Very strong southerly wind, super windy across the entire four-state area. A lot of clouds, didn't really see the sun for us today, but still we warmed up quite a bit. We're still holding low to mid-60s, and we're going to really hold fairly steady until our cold front rolls through late this evening into the overnight hours for us tonight, which you can see kind of stretching back through southeastern Kansas, west central parts of Oklahoma. Look at the colder air filtering in behind it, the warmer air lifting north ahead of it. So of course, as that front drops through, we're going to start to cool down. Very strong southerly winds for us all day long today. They have diminished a little bit, but still breezy out there. And then this wind shift line out across the northwestern and western counties, that's our cold front. Along and ahead of it, we're going to start to see some scattered showers, even a few scattered thunderstorms popping up for us tonight. Outside right now, we do have some showers. Southerly winds at about 10 to 15, humidity 70%. Current temp is sitting at 64. Slow drop through the 60s into the 50s, but eventually all the way down into low to mid 30s later on tonight behind that cold front. We've had the clouds all day long. Here come the light showers along and north of Interstate 44. Now, if you live in our northern counties, you're not going to see much tonight. Maybe just a few random showers, and that's about it. But definitely increasing northeastern Oklahoma and lifting off toward the north and to the east. Nothing strong, nothing severe. These are all just light showers at this point in time. I wouldn't be surprised here in a couple hours if we have some embedded thunderstorms within this batch, which is going to develop. Pretty big system, but not very strong. Doesn't have a lot of moisture really to work with as we go through the overnight. All right, let's go through time. Here's 7:30, showers continuing to develop and then increasing 8, 9, 10 p.m. I think by 1 or 2, these are gone. We'll start to clear out. So if you're getting up early, by tomorrow morning it's going to be cold, but we're going to be clearing out. We're going to get some sunshine by the time we head into the afternoon hours. But our temperatures are really going to struggle. We're going to struggle to get into lower 40s for afternoon highs. Mid 20s, clear skies tomorrow night, and then as we head into Friday, we get southerly winds back, and this is going to help our temperatures out. This is going to allow us to warm back into the 50s, and then we should go into the 60s by the time the weekend rolls around. Rainfall, not extremely heavy. I think if you live north of I-44, maybe 1/10 of an inch. Along and south of Interstate 44, those areas could pick up 1/4, maybe 1/2 an inch of rain. Here's your breakdown for you tomorrow. Clouds in the morning, cold start 34, 37 by 9, only 39 by noon, then a high temp of 43, which I don't think most people are going to complain about. Majority of people are going to be inside eating and watching football. By the time you want to get back outside, it starts to warm back up. 53 Friday, 61 Saturday, near 70 by next Tuesday.
Not a bad travel forecast. Of course, the roads could still be wet in the morning, so
Yeah.
people need to be aware of that.
Need to watch that.
Thanks, Todd. Coming up in sports, Pitt State women hit the floor tonight for a non-conference game against Lindenwood. And the Lamar Tigers aim to return to the Class II state championship game. We're going to hear from the Tigers on their semifinal matchup with Richmond after the break.
3 local high school football teams are still alive in the state playoffs, including the Lamar Tigers. The Lamar hosts Richmond on Saturday in the state semifinals, aiming to return to the Class II state championship game. Now, we caught up with the Tigers today as they try to earn another trip back to Columbia. Repeating as state champions is no easy task.
It's extremely difficult. You know, things have to kind of shape your way. You have to obviously put in the work first, but then, you know, just the adversity of dealing with injuries, dealing with other teams that have gotten better, you know, and have proved their program, have seen us play and you know, have adapted their programs to beat teams like us. You know, the pieces have to fall into place for you.
The Lamar Tigers are aiming to do just that and go 2 for 2 in their first 2 seasons under head coach Jared Beshore.
It would mean the world to me that these kids get to do this for a second year in a row.
It means so much. I've been dreaming for this day for a long time.
I think that's my motivation, is getting them to next weekend and getting them 7 more days of football.
We know what we're working for, and that's 7 more days of football until Misha tells us we can't go anymore.
Lamar is just 2 wins away from another Class II title, beginning with a semifinal matchup against Richmond on Saturday.
They're big, they're athletic, they're long, they're a very physical team. You know, they're going to do what they do. They don't change a whole lot based on what the team they're playing. They just like to go straight at you. And so, you know, very similar philosophy to what we have.
Our scout team, they put in a lot of work and give us a great look every day.
The Tigers know their end goal is to win it all, but it's the small details along the way that will get them there.
Detail-oriented people usually get good results. When you focus on the small things, you know, that's the difference between a 5-yard gain and a touchdown a lot of times. So when we focus on that in practice, that's sometimes the difference between a win and a loss. Football's a game of inches. Our guys understand that. They've bought into that. They've been coached like that for a long time. I was coached like that, so it's really easy for them to buy into it and understand why it works and how it works.
Lamar faces Richmond in the state semifinals at 1 p.m. on Saturday in Lamar. The winner moves on to the state championship game scheduled for next Friday in Columbia. The Pittsburgh State men's basketball team is back in action tonight on the road against Henderson State. Now, the Gorillas are off to a bit of a slow start this season, dropping 4 straight to begin their schedule. In this one today against Henderson State, the Gorillas fall in a close one, 59-57. Ryan Pippen scores a team-high 21 points. The Gorillas are back in action at home on Saturday, hosting Baker. Pittsburgh State women also on the floor tonight. The Gorillas host former MIAA rival Lindenwood in a non-conference matchup. That one has already started in Pittsburgh. We'll have highlights and post-game reaction right here tonight at 10. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Time now to honor a local veteran. Corporal Richard Cagle served in the U.S. Marine Corps. His hometown, Fort Scott, Kansas. And we are proud to salute Corporal Richard Cagle. He's tonight's 4-state hero. Getting kind of chilly out there at the moment.
Yeah, we got showers across the region, especially along the I-44 corridor. These are going to pick up as we go through the evening hours. Showers, even some thunderstorms across the region. These will mainly be out of here by 2 a.m. as a cold front drives through, and we're going to struggle. 43 may be a little too high. It may be 40 or 41 tomorrow. So
good time to stay inside for sure. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.